Hello everyone and welcome back to PAX and Recreation. And we are late to the spooky party, but not that much. It's just Wizards keep releasing things at a very fast pace. Today, we are going to hit it with Innistrad Remastered, a collector booster box. Because play booster boxes, unless you want a podcast, those are very long videos, but hey, let me know if you want a podcast while I just crack cards. But for the sake of brevity and value, we're going to go at it with a collector booster box from Innistrad Remastered. So, while we are hosted by Emrakul, the Promised End in the background. Oh, and yes, I know this is not the art from Emrakul, the Promised End. Just bear with me. That's the one that can be here. So let's see. Very shiny metallic box. I mean, one thing is for sure, they don't know how to make cool boxes. The interesting thing is that all the collector booster boxes, they are very expensive, as you know, and you're basically paying for better pools, pay to win, loot boxes, blah, 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 blah. I can't believe it's not gambling, hashtag European Union, etc., etc. But they make these boxes like crazy cool, and I've never seen one of these in a shelf. So normally these are like, you either just get them online or get like a pre-order or something. So like they make these boxes insanely cool looking, and you're never going to buy them as is. Like, I don't believe someone is going to look at the box and go like, hey, you know what, I'm going to blow $250. It's like either you want it and you already have it pre-order or something, or you don't. I guess it may be tempting if you're sitting like this in the shelf of a local game store, but like, I don't know. All this to say, they make the boxes incredibly cool looking, and then they're not even like that reusable because of the weird shape that they have. I don't know. As usual, angelic rares, demonic scares, and uncover Innistrad's devilish threats, not treats, and blessed relics sealed within this vault. Blah, 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 blah. And basically, this is where the good stuff is, the special treatments, and more specifically, it may include a serialized card. This serialized card that you can get is none other than Edgar Markov. See, even the boosters are freakishly good looking. But these ones I can tolerate to a degree, because I mean, yes, I can see some of these, like, in the display of your local game store, and you see this shiny, beautiful thing and go like, okay, give me one, because it's only 30 something bucks, right? So let's see well, these are one of the weakest collector booster wrappings I've seen in a while. Normally they have been making them more and more like tough and harder to open, and like more plastic than anything else, and this one is just shrink wrap. So let's see, it looks like this is one of those that you're supposed to open backwards, right? Yep, exactly. So in case you are new to this, they apparently do this with the collector boosters. I don't know if they said anywhere that this is on purpose, but they are done like this, maybe because of YouTube videos, because they know who the main audience for these are. Like, you just buy the singles, people, because you go more like surprise. See, like you keep. Well, with Innistrad cards, there is a little bit of a spoiler here because you have two-sided cards, but you just keep shifting stuff. Lantern Bearer, so you have all the normal foil commons and uncommons that you normally get from a collector booster, and then it becomes aggressive, or the heavy hitters come in once you see the land, right? Okay, so retro frame land right here for the benefit of Mr. Kite, and I put this here, and then the party starts, right? So you start getting the special treatment cards, special borders, special whatever. So Borrowed Hostility, first red of the pack, Gold Tree, okay, in retro frame 2. And now maybe we get more, exactly, now it's foil retro, so Dauntless Cathar, not bad. Innistrad has a very, very special place in my heart because it's one of my favorite, if not maybe my favorite plane. Ooh, the Gidrock monster, let's go! Although For some people, this is one of the best commanders out there. For me, I don't know. I think this is one of those commanders that is like like all or nothing. You're here to play. I myself can't bring myself to play with it comfortably because, you know, it's like Death Touch at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice the Gitrog monster unless you sacrifice the land. So you always need to be sacrificing lands, but you may play an additional land on each of your turns. So you have 2 lands, one of them has to go, you're always feeding the Gitrog monster. And whenever one or more lands are pulled into the graveyard from anywhere, you draw a card. So you have a good engine here. And this is a very good design of a card. I do think that Thalia and the Gitrog monster from March of the Machine, I was thinking what was the name of the multiversal set. It's a middle ground, softer version of this because you don't have to sacrifice anything. But this is a type of design that you don't see anymore, which is great power, great responsibility, or great setback, which is, well, yes, you get a lot of things, but you have to sacrifice lands. It's not a free meal anymore. And I think this type of thing is lost in modern designs. Temporal Mastery, let's go, in white art and or full art. I was calling white art, I don't know why. I don't know why. 5 and 2, take an extra turn after this one, exile Temporal Mastery, and you can cast it for the miracle cost, which is actually great. And the last 2 normally are the heaviest hitters. Captivating Vampire, not bad in retro frame. Other vampire creatures you control get +1/+1, and type 5 on tap vampires you control and gain control of target creature. It becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. And the last one, because you have a human soldier token and a Eldrazi horror, that's why Emrakul is in the back, is Restoration Angel in foil. Well, what a beautiful card. God damn. Like, that's a beautiful looking card, people. Look at that. And this is why we love Innistrad. Flash, flying. When this creature enters, you may exile target non-angel creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. This thing is beautiful. So now for the next booster. Let's see. See, like, these are the easiest collector boosters to open since, I don't know, in years. Well, I'm going to make this unsufferable for you. I will just open like the last ones or something like that. Let's get right to it, because I think they also do this for the sake of videos too. You either go dramatic or you just go like boom, 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 boom. Heartless Summoning with Giza there. Great looking card. Look at that thing. Beautiful and in foil. So let's go. Hunt Master of the Fells. And this is a double-sided card, if I recall correctly, but I need to see the one. Necro Duality. Let's go in retro frame. And Ravager of the Fells. So it's a 2-sided card. Necro Duality, nice. So this one goes here. Spell Queller, foil. Coolio. Abundant Growth. Also in foil and full art. And cool. And Burning Vengeance. A Vassinian Priest. And a foil forest. And now, you know, this is the thing I always comment is, like, since we are so baffled by the special treatments and all that, which is actually the reason why you buy this type of booster, when you get to these ones, it's just like, okay. Like, you don't care. It's a shame, but it is what it is. I always have the same doubt in my heart of hearts, which is, well, should the collector boosters just have, because, you know, Wizards is not going to make them cheaper, so should they just have less cards and just have like the special treatments and not include all the bulk? Because the bulk, Captivating Vampires and a Jace token, which is always great. But Captivating Vampires in the movie poster thing, which I have mixed feelings about, because I kind of like it, but at the same time I'm like, I don't know. I never really resonate that much with these Secret Lair looking cards. I like the consistency in Magic. Like, you know, there's always the same format. I do like it that the frame has evolved, right? And I do like, you know, special frames as long as we respect the, you know, where your eyes have to go to read stuff. This is not the worst one because your eyes have to go to the same place. Cost is in the top right, text is here, and then the damage is in bottom right corner, and the text is in the bottom right. So not the worst offender. Ooh, wow, Olivia Voldaren, man. Okay, this is a blessed pack if I ever seen one. So cool, Captivating Vampires goes here, and Olivia Voldaren, a great commander, legendary creature vampire. See, this one is threading the limit of what's acceptable, right? This one is not foil, right? So normally the first one is foil, the second one is not. The cost here is great, kind of centered. The name here is okay. Then legendary creature vampire. The 3/3 here is kind of a stretching it, and you can tell that for this thing to be here, the artist was like, I don't have a place to put this, unless like I put it in the eyes or something. So it was like stuck here, which okay, at least is readable. And then you have the text here, which is actually very readable, right? Like Olivia Voldaren deals 1 damage to target creature, and ironically, the style of text that is in the style of text of a movie poster that boldens some words, actually kind of works, because it's boldening relevant words to like Olivia Voldaren, target creature, that creature, vampire, other types, +1/+1, Olivia Voldaren. So like that's not bad. That's actually kind of cool. And then the costs are like using the crests, no special things, not bad. And this is a very good looking card. Now for commanders, I don't ever. Mausoleum Wanderer. This pack is good. Like for commanders, I don't bother that much. For normal creatures, I do take issue. But commanders is like when your commander is all blinked out, I'm like, okay, because I mean you show it at the beginning, people read it and go like, okay, that's what it does, right? And then it's always there. You know what it does? It's like a lingering shadow on the battlefield, right? Like you know that the thing is there. So. Ooh, Gisela. Okay, now this pack was good. Gisela the Broken Blade in foil. Now this is the man's pack, and Brisela, Voice of Nightmares, at least half of it in the back. Not bad. Now we need to get the other half, which is Bruna the Fading Light. So let's see if we can pull it in this box, but. I'm already pretty happy. Chalice of Life, which is also the Chalice of Death, is the first artifact. Not that many artifacts. Voldaren Epicure. Yep. And a mountain. And then this stuff, right? So Asylum. Visitor, Intangible Virtue, Clear Shot, Desperate Farmer, double-sided because it's also Depraved Harvester. Thank God they didn't put like night and day cards in here. They went for 2-sided cards because that's an Innistrad thing. Like you can't, right? Like I mean, you can't do Innistrad without that. But at least they didn't do like night and day or those black and white cards that were very shitty. Ooh, Bloodline Keeper in retrofoil, nice, and a spirit token that is also a human. So it's basically before and after right there. But Bloodline Keeper, not bad. I always think, by the way, maybe I'm not the only one, but whenever I see a retro foil, with foils, it's even more apparent. With the normal one, I also get that impression, but with foils, like retro foil black cards, I always get this feeling that this is, like, it gives me more of a vibe of metal than it does swamp, right? Because these are bubbles, supposedly. But since it's very shiny, it just looks like rivets or something. It just looks like a metal card. Ooh, Cathar's Crusade. Now we are talking. We are pulling the big guns, baby. So for 3 and 2 white, it's an enchantment. See, this one is playing. This one is treading on the, Cathar's Crusade. Whenever a creature you control enters, put a +1/+1. They don't say about it anymore. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. This one is easy to read. I have my feelings in regards to Great Crawler. In regards to it being an enchantment, again, I guess I prefer that only legendary creatures have this special treatment. Restoration Angel, let's go, because it's what I said, right? It's like easier for you to go, yeah, this is my commander, and people acknowledge it, and that's it. When you have it, like when all your cards are as noisy visually, it's just a pain in the ass. And that's something that sometimes this encourages me from using some proxy decks. Like, I love that people are able to express themselves through their commander decks, and I've seen some commander decks that you see that and you go like, damn, like, not only because of the power level or the idea, not normally because of the theme. Like, oh, this is a Bloodborne deck, right? Like, there is one on Reddit. That thing is badass. It's basically all Bloodborne cards, but this guy or girl, I don't know, just basically grabbed all these like existing cards and did like Bloodborne versions of them, and the whole deck was Bloodborne theme. And I looked at it and was like, damn. And that was cool because the person understood like the limit of the noise, the visual noise. But sometimes I see some decks, on Master of the Fells, I see some decks that are like all full art with crazy images from different IPs, and it's like, man, it's just so difficult to read. And this is, the Gitrog Monster, but now in poster, let's go. Like, this one is cool, don't get me wrong. Like, okay, I like it. See, this is like crazy magic. It has stuff around it. It's cool, but it retains the style. But now this is the stuff, the Gitrog Monster. So we already saw the Gitrog Monster. I just want you to appreciate the card. This one is not foiled, but very easy to read. So not the worst, actually. I like them when the text is like, at least the text is structured. I remember it was the Lord of the Rings metal. Sleight of hand, people. The Lord of the Rings metal cards. Tree of Perdition, cool. 4. Man, those things were so difficult to read just because the text would be like all distorted and with a weird font and all that. And I just look at that and go like, I guess, like, and that's why I normally say the commander, because yes, when you're playing with experienced people, and you see that like in standard and in competitive Magic, or just if you're just used to playing a lot with the same people with the same decks, you don't need to read the card. It doesn't explain the card. What you need to do is you already know what the cards do, because and that's why the pictures in the cards have that function, right? You just see it from across the battlefield and like, oh, that's a siege zombie. I know, I played against it multiple times. Now, I'm certain that there are some people like Gavin and so on that they can recognize every freaking Magic the Gathering card, even upside down and from across the table and all that. But for us normal folks, maybe we can recognize, the current ones, the ones that our friends use on their decks and so on. So it's always important. Lisa, Forgotten Archangel. It's always important that they are at least readable, so you can pull them and read them easy. If you can't remember. And Galvanic Iteration. So they went double retro frame on me. One foil, one not foil. Not bad. Zealous Conscripts in full art. Not bad. I don't dislike the retro frame, but I think that the retro frame has been, as it happens with a lot of other Magic the Gathering stuff recently, has been overused. So, currently I see a retro frame and I don't get excited most of the times. I just go like, I guess. Because it's actually worse. Like, if you compare this to this one has a smaller picture frame, right? Like, if you give me the choice between these two, this one has more art, have more space for the art, right? So that's why, like, in this chain of events, this is most people, or I'll speak for everyone, this is most people's favorite style of card because the art occupies most of the card, or at least this. But the art is smaller, too much frame, right? So I'm not like that crazy for the retro frame. Let's see what's underneath. Blood Mist, and the thing in the eyes obviously becomes a walking horror. This card is very good, and cheating it is just wonderful. Cheating it into play with magic mechanisms, not by cheating. So I don't know. I like special treatments like any other guy, and I like when it's a card that I like. I just go like, ooh, crazy. And then again, it's subjective. Like, for example, some of these, like the special Edgar Markov card. Like, I like the card. I think it's broken, like with any commander with Eminence, but that's another discussion. But I don't like the art that much. So like, and no, this in the art is, I couldn't in 1,000 lives draw with that quality. It's just that it doesn't resonate with me. I prefer the original style. Ooh, sorry, let's go. For example, see, like this Castlevania-like style, this gothic style, right? This is why I like Innistrad. So the movie poster things are like, thank you, I guess. I don't. And here is the same. It's like, Sorin, Imperious Bloodlord. And it's a Planeswalker, but a Planeswalker with a retro frame. It's just confusing. Like +1, +1, -3, cool. And when I saw the card on my brain, immediately was like, wait, this is a Planeswalker, right? And I was like, it is, but it's a Planeswalker with a retro frame. And from across the table, you wouldn't recognize it as a Planeswalker. And to me, that's a problem. Like, this all comes down to visibility. West Valley Abbey, we're going to see the other side in a second, because it transforms when you sacrifice 5 creatures, transform this land and untap it. But we also got Hopeful Initiate. And it transforms into Ormendal, Profane Prince, a 9/7 with flying, lifelink, indestructible, and haste. So you have to do that sacrifice to get this creature. Ironically, it goes to special lands, which we don't have that many. Hopeful Initiate, Dream Road. Oh, well, see, talking about the devil. A Tango Land, as the prof calls them. The blue foil cards in retro frame are always blinding. Silent Departure, Scorned Villager, and Gisa's Bidding, or Gisa, depending on whether you say GIF or GIF. Up to you. So Swamp, not bad. See, like for lands, I don't care. Like lands are different. You don't need to read a land most of the times, unless it has text on it, in which case you should respect the structure. I don't know. I played with people that had like proxy decks, and I mean, I don't care about proxies. I have proxy decks myself, and some proxies in my decks to test before I buy the actual card, or just because I don't want to buy the actual card because it is ultra expensive and so on. So it's not about the proxies themselves, it's about the style. Sometimes when people proxy cards, they go full crazy because, I mean, since you are using your printer's ink anyway, right, might as well pick the nicest looking version of each card, which is cool and understandable. Ooh, Hullbreaker Horror, this card is such a pain in the ass, man. I love it when I am the one playing it. That's the type of card that, you know, like, that is the bluest freaking card you can throw at the table. Second Harvest, not bad. For each token you control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent. Vanquish the Horde in full art. Beautiful. Rockfall Vale, another Tango land. So yeah, all I took from it is saying, oh, we don't have that many special lands, and they start raining. Cathar Commando, Flesh Taker, and Mentor of the Meek. Mentor, because it's made of menthol. Mentor of the Meek. So yeah, basically you start printing everything in your proxies and you go for the best looking version of the card. And there are some places to print proxy decks where you can actually just pick the version, and you can always go for the rarest one. And yeah, that's cool, but at the same time, it creates such an inconsistency. And I'm talking about proxies because it's easier to do it. But if you have the legacy story with Magic and you have the money, maybe your deck is just like that. If you just collected like Secret Lairs and special cards and so on. And man, it's so annoying playing against those decks because it's so difficult to read. Spell Queller, to read everything, read the situation, read the cards. It's like you're playing Magic with someone that is playing like your little brother with a deck made of like random cards that he picked from the house, even though it's Magic. Spell Queller, not bad. Heartless Summoning, cool. Cryptolith Rite. Cryptolith Rites, in case you missed it. Galvanic Juggernaut. Smothering Werewolf that transforms into Erupting Dreadwolf. So not bad. A Braid in full art. Nice looking card. Dandy looking card. An Island. And now we go to Chalice of Life. Mystic Retrieval. Hamlet Captain. Eat of the Horrid Swarm. I'm gonna love these names. Actually, I'm mislabeling some of these cards, and I guess I need to do it properly before someone screams at me in the comments. because I'm putting like colorless there. But if you, like me, order your cards by number, you will realize that yes, artifacts go after multicolor, but colorless, which is different from artifacts, actually go before white. That's why this card is number 0006. So, by the way, it's scary that now the sets have 4 digits. So this one goes here, and Epitaph Golem is an artifact, so it goes there. Faithless Looting goes there. Spontaneous Mutation. Look at those tentacles, man. Those things are popping due to the magic of foil. And I think we made a mistake with a couple. Let me just correct it very quickly, otherwise my OCD won't let me leave. But it's all just artifacts? Oh, okay. Oh, I thought we had another like Eldrazi creature, but we didn't. So, okay. I wasn't that wrong then. So, let's see. Last 3 boosters, people. Let's see what we get from this. Innistrad is one of my favorite planes, and Shadows over Innistrad was the responsible set of me coming back for the second time. So Magic is like that old girlfriend of yours. Oh, Crater Hoof Behemoth. Let's go. The game-winning card. Everyone hates this freaking card, but it is good. Retro Frame one. I don't like the Retro Frame, but I guess it's a special. That's, although if everything is a special, nothing is a special. Through the Breach, and then you have Emrakul there. Man, the first time I played against an Emrakul, you never forget that. Bedlam Reveler, not bad, in full art, pretty cool. Huntmaster of the Fells, but like in normal style, foil. Tragic Sleep, story of my life. Covetous Castaway. Abundant Maw, so Eldrazi Leech. See, this one has actually a weird number because it's a special version, so it should go at the bottom, but I guess Eldrazi's go there. Then the normal stuff, the common and uncommon stuff. You know, Magic is like that first love that you quite never went, you quite never got over. Like you leave it and then you come back, and then you leave it and then you come back, and there is always something that pulls you. Sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's a set that you're like, man, that looks cool, and you come back. I played a little bit of Magic, then I came back, if you can call it come back. I actually call it like my actually getting into Magic for real, because before that I was just like very casually playing Magic, and I liked Magic, but not I wasn't like full into it. And it was with Shadows over Innistrad, and I was like, what a sweet thing, because it was very Lovecraftian, and I was all over it. And then I was in there for a couple of sets, and I disconnected with Kaladesh, I think, or something like that. But I was like full standard player, like full, And then I came back with Phyrexia, All Will Be One, which is, again, you could say is also like very connected to that set in terms of like theme and all that. Spellqueller, foil, full art, not bad. Cryptolite Rite in old school border. Heartless Summoning, very cool looking card. I wish it will be one of the Giza cards with that art, because it's great. Normally, yes, Giza is with Geralt, Geralt of Frivia. So good commander though. See, when I was telling you about blue foil cards in retro frame, try reading that. So Soul Cipher board, and then the text at least you can read. You have to squint your eyes if you have direct light. Triskaidekaphobia, but in reverse foil, which made me not recognize it immediately. Abundant Growth in full art. A Forest. And Duskwatch Recruiter, Compelling Deterrence, Gold Tree, Abundant Maw, but in normal foil, Angelic Purge, Blood Petal Celebrant, and Deranged Assistant. And now the last booster of this box. This one, you're gonna bear with me, we're gonna open it as Wizards intended. So backwards, like a magician, with all my sleight of hand. Let's see. Festival Crusher, Apothecary Geist. Man, Geist for the GameCube, what a game. Evolving Wilds. I remember that people were like, no, Shigeru Miyamoto had to do with that game. And it's like, I mean, more or less. He was like a producer, but not really. Bramble Worm, Subjugator Angel. We didn't get Bruna, so there is that. Voldaren Ambusher, or Ambusher? No, Ambusher, because it's an ambush. Infernal Grasp. See, with Magic, you also learn English. Magic English. Planes. And let's see what we pull. Tragic Sleep in Retrofoil. Blood Mist in Retrofoil. Lightning Axe in Retroframe foil. Gravecrawler, man, the infinite combo that you can do with this is so annoying. Gravecrawler in foil goes here. Pam 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 pam. Thalia, Heretic Cathar, let's go! This art is actually pretty cool. Again, looks like something from Castlevania Symphony of the Night, so I'm digging it. First strike, creatures and non-basic lands your opponent's control enter tapped. So her plus the Gitrog monster, amazing commander. Nice pool. I'm already happy with the pools. Let's see if we can improve it. Ooh, the Midhook Massacre. Indeed, yes, we can improve this box. Damn. So not bad at all. Legendary enchantment for X and 2 black. When the Midhook Massacre enters, each creature gets -X/-X until the end of turn. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and whenever a creature an opponent control dies, you gain 1 life. So everyone's favorite punishment mechanism. And then a clue. There is also Human Soldier. And the last card is Cultivator Colossus in full art, foil, pretty. Actually, looks pretty freaking sick, the card. I'm not gonna lie to you. That thing looks pristine. So, well, I'm not that familiar with it. Plant Beast for 4 and 3 green is a XX. It has trample, and Cultivator Colossus's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Not bad. When this creature enters, you may put a land card from your hand to the battlefield tapped. If you do, draw a card and repeat this process. Okay, that's dangerous. So, not bad at all. Not bad pulls. So, there was like a middle section there where we put a bunch of movie posters and then it stopped altogether. So not bad. I'm kind of happy. I don't like the movie poster cards that much, but the ones we pulled, I kind of don't dislike, right? So from white, the best looking card, I think it's gonna be Thalia. Vanquish the Horde is kind of cool, but see, Kathar's Crusade, like technically this is a cooler card than this one on paper. But Gisela, man, Gisela looks badass, bro. But nah, I like this one. It's like Restoration Angel looks badass. It's gonna be Thalia. It's gonna be Thalia. I can see her as the commander of one of my decks. So that card in particular. For blue, man, this thing is just popping. This one looks cool. I think it's one of the few that the border actually makes the card look better, I think. But Mausoleum Wonder, can't fight that. Well, Temporal Mastery actually looks better. I actually like a lot the way this card looks. This looks very badass, my friend. So there is that. For black, we do have an ample selection. This is Innistrad, after all. So this card looks cool. So that will be my go-to. This Soaring looks badass, man. This thing looks scary as hell and actually kind of cool. This one looks cool too. I'm not that big into this. Reminds me of those two dudes from the Castlevania series, the ones that were from Dracula's Castle. Heartless Summoning in foil, so it's gonna be between Heartless Summoning and Soaring. I prefer this one. Same logic, Castlevania looking card, but this card just rocks. This aesthetic is just there. It's a shame that this is not a commander card. It's not a legendary creature for Giza, because that art is just pristine, brother. So Bedlam Reveler, maybe it's my go-to card here. This looks badass too. This is okay. Red cards, man, red cards are like, they either look crazy badass, like no middle point, just, you know, get a card that gets you howling, or you just don't care. Like that normally is the case with me, for me, with red cards. So Abrade, you choose one, and you know, I love the whole mask aesthetic. For green, I don't know, well, the Cultivator Colossus looks beyond sick. This thing looks cool. This card is cool, but the card is cool. It doesn't need to necessarily, like, it's not the card looks cool in my opinion. Like, I never liked that much the look of the Craterfoot Behemoth, to be honest. But this thing is scary. This thing looks like it will haunt your dreams. Like, this thing is amazing. So what else? Multicolor. Well, we have a ample selection of interesting things. This thing. Maybe, well, these two actually, I started the video like, oh, movie poster cards, like I don't like them, but these two I have to eat my words. These two are kind of cool. I'm just going to favor the Gilrock Monster because it follows the structure better than Olivia with this 3/3 here that I don't feel fits the card at all. It feels like an afterthought. So it's gonna be this, because this thing looks like badass. And for colorless, not much here. I guess it's gonna be the Chalice of Life. In normal foil, in normal frame, because the old frame, meh. And for lands, I guess West Valley Abbey, because the Abbey is cool. I don't like the frame that much. The Valley is cool, but what's behind is even cooler. So it's gonna be this one. And well, let's do the Eldrazi then, just so that people. Yeah, it's gonna be this. The name is just amazing. It of the Horrid Swarm. Like, the card maybe not that good. The card is a common, I mean, no one cares. But the name, pristine. So that was the box. Let me know what you think about those pools, and what's your opinion on the, movie poster cards, and if you think they actually fit the vibe of Innistrad, because now I don't even know what the vibe is anymore. I thought that the vibe from Innistrad was, horror, then it became Lovecraftian horror, and then it became movie horror again. And then we got Duskmourn, and I was like, oh, that's a thing in Innistrad. It's like, no. It's a plane that is a house. And I'm like, I don't know if I like it, but I get it. And the idea is kind of cool. But that thing is Innistrad, but it wasn't. And then they went with the whole movie, 80s movie thing, although, yeah, it was like sci-fi because of Ghostbusters. I was like, and now they come back to this one with horror movies again. It's like, I don't mind having multiple planes. Like, I love the planes, as a matter of fact, but I would like that each plane has their own identity and they don't step on each other, because it's like, what's the point, right? And I feel like those two, even though you could separate like Innistrad Gothic horror from Duskmourn movies horror, now if you release Innistrad stuff with movie posters, it's kind of overlapping. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts. But if you like this video, like, subscribe, and all those things that you are mandated to say on YouTube. Don't forget to write a comment to tell me that I'm wrong about something, and I will see you next time on your favorite channel, Mr. Packs and Recreation. Bye.